I did want to inform you that it is 2 counts of murder, 1 count of sexual conduct with a minor. We have updated your paperwork and we'll be giving you your new updated paperwork. Did you have any questions?
What's the second count?
So the alleged victim in this case was pregnant. So that would be the second count.
The baby.
It's sick that you would take another child's life because you don't want the proof to come out.
I provided them 3 phones. I've provided them screenshots, voice recordings, text messages, everything that I could find digital.
Many have questions as to how she could have gotten pregnant by a 36-year-old man while living there and why they let her go off on her own after dark the night she was killed.
What if the very system designed to protect you became the one that failed you most? 16-year-old Zariah Dodd sent a text message that read, "I'm afraid." Hours later, she was dead. But here's what's going to haunt you. 20 different homes, dozens of warning signs, and a system that kept looking the other way. This isn't just about a murder. It's about how a child slipped through every single crack until there was nowhere left to fall. Before we go any further, I want to say thank you. Thank you to every single person who's commented, shared, and supported True Crime Unraveled. We read every single comment you leave, and they mean the world to us. Keep them coming. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a case. On Facebook and TikTok, find us at True Crime Unraveled TV. Let's get into this. July 5th, 2025. A man walking his dog through Marivue Park in West Phoenix makes a discovery that will shake Arizona to its core. Lying in the grass is the body of a teenage girl, a single gunshot wound to her head. She's 22 weeks pregnant. Her name is Zariah Dodd, and she's only 16 years old. But Zariah's story doesn't start here, in this park at sunrise. It starts more than a decade earlier, when she was just 5 years old, a little girl with bright eyes, pom-poms in her hands, and a smile that could light up a room. Her first foster mother, Jennifer Jones, remembers her as a child who loved cheerleading, riding bikes, and experiencing anything new. But even then, Zariah was different. She had already learned to survive. Picture this, a 5-year-old girl going door to door past Apache Junction, asking strangers for food. Not for herself, for her infant brother. Authorities believe she'd been caring for him alone for 5 to 7 days. 5 years old, and already she was in survival mode. That's how Zariah entered the foster care system. Jones remembers trying to teach Zariah how to just be a kid. She'd tell her she didn't need to make bottles anymore, that it wasn't her responsibility. But Zariah insisted. It was her job, she said. Even at 5, she couldn't let go of that burden. Jones described her as intelligent, resilient, powerful. A child who kept pushing forward no matter what life threw at her. But here's the question nobody seems able to answer. How does a little girl like that end up dead in a park 11 years later? 20. That's how many group homes Zariah cycled through during her time in Arizona's Department of Child Safety Custody. 20 different beds, 20 different sets of rules, 20 different places that were supposed to keep her safe. Her family wanted to take her in, her uncle Eric Polk, her aunt Canella Bernard, her grandmother Roselle Spencer. They all tried. But the state said no. Zariah would remain in the system, bouncing from placement to placement like a ball nobody wanted to catch. By the time she was 15, Zariah had caught the attention of someone who should never have been near her. His name was Gerald Davis, 36 years old, a convicted felon, a man with a pattern of targeting underage girls that stretched back nearly 2 decades. In December 2024, when Zariah was just 15, court documents reveal that Davis forced her into sexual intercourse. She told her caseworker he had a gun, that she was terrified he would use it if she refused. This wasn't a secret. This wasn't something hidden in the shadows. Zariah told her caseworker in April 2025. The Department of Child Safety reported it to law enforcement. And then, nothing happened fast enough. A forensic interview was scheduled. Standard procedure in cases of sexual misconduct with a minor. But that interview? It was set for July 8th, 2025. 3 months after Zariah first reported what happened. 3 months of waiting while she carried the child of a man more than twice her age. 3 months during which she was still accessible, still vulnerable, still afraid. Meanwhile, Davis had another victim, 17-year-old Ania Morris. Her mother, Adrienne Morris, had filed an order of protection against Davis in 2024 after he solicited explicit images of her daughter. When Ania was found with Davis during a traffic stop in Pinal County, police discovered a gun in the car. Davis was a convicted felon. He wasn't supposed to have a gun. He wasn't supposed to be anywhere near minors. So what happened? He signed a plea deal. 3 years of unsupervised probation. No contact with Ania. About $500 in fees. That's it. Unsupervised probation means exactly what it sounds like. No probation officer checking in, no oversight, just a promise to behave. And Davis? He violated that promise immediately. July 4th, 2025. Zariah is living at Sunshine Residential, a group home in Surprise, Arizona. She's 22 weeks pregnant now, and everyone at the facility knows she's planning to leave with her baby's father. She makes it clear to the other girls. She tells staff she wants to see her boyfriend, 18-year-old Jeffrey James Gillett. They say no, but they say yes to something else. They let her go for a walk. At 8 p.m., Zariah Dodd walks out of that group home. She's carrying a laptop, a pink and purple tumbler, and a blue purse. What happens next is pieced together from text messages, surveillance footage, and confessions. During that walk, Davis and James Gillett pick her up. Zariah texts a friend at the group home, "We are literally driving in circles." Then another message, "I'm afraid." 6.5 hours after she leaves for that walk, surveillance cameras near Marivue Park capture the sound of a single gunshot. By the time staff at Sunshine Residential report her missing, 4 hours after curfew, Zariah is already dead. When police arrest James Gillett and Davis, the story that emerges is chilling. According to court documents, James Gillett confesses. He tells investigators that Davis ordered him to kill Zariah, threatened to kill them both if he refused. James Gillett says he pulled the trigger, but only because he was terrified. He says he regrets it, that he wishes he could take it back. Davis denies everything. He admits to picking up Zariah and James Gillett, admits to dropping them off at the park. But ordering the murder? Fathering her child? He denies it all. Until the DNA test comes back. Positive match. Davis is the father of Zariah's unborn baby. Both men are charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, one for Zariah, one for her unborn daughter. Davis faces additional charges.
Good evening. Please state your name and date of birth.
Zariah Davis, 9/26/88.
Thank you. You're here today again, this time for a Superior Court grand jury warrant, and I'll read through the charges. There's 11 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, which is a Class 2 felony. 3 counts of luring minor for sex exploitation, which is a Class 3 felony. 2 counts of child enticement using electronic devices, which is a Class 5 felony. 4 counts of sexual conduct with a minor, which is a Class 6 felony. And then 8 counts of disobeying or resisting an order of the court, which is a misdemeanor. The court did, the grand jury found probable cause, so an attorney has been appointed for you. Your next hearing on this matter will be August 15th at 8:30 in the morning. There is a cash-only appearance bond set for you here, and it is based on the grand jury warrant. It is $150,000. If you make that bond, you would have electronic monitoring and pretrial supervision. Of course, the no contact orders are standard. No contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, or complainants. And you would need to follow any orders of protection or orders of harassment that are issued against you. All of this will be on your paperwork. Okay, thank you for your time tonight.
Okay.
Sexual conduct with a minor, weapons violations, charges related to Ania Morris. The pieces come together, forming a picture of a predator who operated in plain sight while the systems meant to stop him failed over and over again.
These court documents detail the many times 16-year-old Zariah Dodd told people that she feared for her life and the men accused in her killing.
I asked her, how does she know my daughter? She says, I know the man that has your daughter. She said, I know you. She later said, but I'm scared to speak up. I'm 16. I'm pregnant by him. She firmly said in the message, He told me if I said anything that he had people that would kill me. I immediately turned that over to police the next day. When I heard that it happened, I immediately knew he had something to do with it.
It saddens me that even Zariah herself reached out.
Did she ever tell you she was scared?
No, she didn't. But now hearing all of this, that she was reaching out, it hurts me. Because it's like all of this could have been prevented. Where was the protection for her in all of this? Why wasn't she moved? And why wasn't her phone being stripped?
So let's talk about what went wrong. Because the list is long, and it's infuriating. Zariah reported being afraid of Davis in April. A forensic interview wasn't scheduled until July, 3 months later. She was moved to a new group home because of her pregnancy, but nobody stripped her phone. Nobody limited her contact with the outside world. Nobody seemed to recognize that a pregnant 15-year-old who had accused a 36-year-old man of sexual assault was in immediate danger. Davis was on unsupervised probation for violating a protection order involving another teenage girl. He wasn't supposed to contact Ania Morris, but he did. Repeatedly. He was found with her in his car. Authorities knew. They filed to revoke his probation, but the hearing kept getting delayed. On July 5th, while police processed the scene where Zariah died, Davis was with Ania. He allegedly brought her to the park, forced her to see Zariah's body. Jennifer Jones, Zariah's first foster mother, put it perfectly. She has a name. She has a story, and that story is one of heartbreak and tremendous neglect. So here's what I want you to think about. How many Zariahs are out there right now? How many kids in the system are trying to survive with nobody listening? As of July 2025, 115 children in Arizona DCS custody were listed as missing, abducted, or runaways. 66 of them ran away from group homes. What needs to change? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this case shook you the way it shook me, hit that like button and share this video. Subscribe to True Crime Unraveled here on YouTube and follow True Crime Unraveled TV on Facebook and TikTok. We're telling the stories that matter, and we need your voice to make sure they're heard. See you in the next one.
Out here to Marivue Park, just devastated over the loss of the young mother-to-be. They brought balloons, they had t-shirts made, all here to remember the life of Zariah Dodd and mourn the loss of her and her unborn child. One of her former foster mothers says she was troubled, but a joy to be around.
Funny, smart, intelligent, resilient, powerful. It didn't, like I keep saying, it didn't matter what was thrown at her. She kept forward. She never looked back.
Zariah was found at this park on July 5th, dead from a gunshot wound. Several hours earlier, she was reported missing from the surprise group home she was living in after going for a walk. These are the two men charged in her murder: 36-year-old Jarrell Davis, the father of the unborn child, and 18-year-old Jacree James Gillette. Davis is also facing sexual misconduct with a minor. Loved ones and advocates have a lot of questions about why she was able to go for a walk alone when staff knew she was pregnant and knew she had a history of running away.
Because even making the missing report call at 12 o'clock, curfew was 10 o'clock. There's a gap. The missing report should have been no later than 10:15 because she was missing by then.
The vigil was also to honor the life of her unborn child, who we're told she was going to name Zalani. In Phoenix, Angie Cayley for Arizona's Family.